All right, guys, we're live. So it's been a while. I haven't done any lives. I haven't been on camera in a while because I've been a little bit busy. Been renovating the gym. Got some new equipment. We're actually doing some changes around. So I decided to pop the camera open. I got a question about, Nick, how do I throw a forearm strike? There's a video on YouTube where the guy just throws his forearm shot and just knocks the guy out cold. So a few people asked me about how do I throw the forearm strike on the inside, on the outside. How do I prepare it? How do I land it? Where do I hit? So I'm going to answer that question. But before we start, guys, go visit my brand new website, nickdrossos.com. I have a membership site right now. It's only $10 a month. All my new content is there. Brand new fight analysis, access to my seminar, my webinars, my self-defense for kids program should be up this week actually. So go check it out at nickdrossos.com, as well as I have my level 1 instructor course, April 11th and 12th here in Montreal, Quebec, Canada. There's only 4 spaces left. I'm only taking 8 people, so 4 spaces left. The instructor course is open to everyone, so you could come attend it to just do the seminar. You could attend to just, if already you're an instructor or want to be an instructor, go check that out. Go to instructor course. I'll put the link in the comment box, as well as go check out my website. So, Jason Black, bonjour. So how do you throw a forearm shot? The first thing is a forearm shot, you're striking with this part or the inside, right? There's a few ways. If you're in a natural position this way, right, and I want to strike here, the idea is that you can strike the forearm from a natural position. So if I'm here, right, I would just release, step in, and this way. Right? So I'm hitting the blade of the forearm into the throat. Now, even if he flinches and I hit him on top of the head, it doesn't matter. But what you want to try to aim is anywhere in the neck area, especially the forearm strikes are made to go this way, here, around, whether I'm going here, there, here, here. Okay, so when I actually train the forearm strikes, that's what I do. I move around where I go from here to here, here, boom, 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 boom. Right? I can also, from this point, just step in. It's good if the person's going to push you or grab you, to release and strike. So actually train releasing and striking into, again, you're striking into the neck area. This is where all the nerves are, as well as this is a very, you could see, but just doing this, right? The other thing about throwing the forearm strike, there's a lot of power because you're driving it in with your whole body. So I'm not just doing this. I'm stepping in. I'm launching it from a natural position, right? So if I'm here and I'm faced with multiple attackers, let's say, and one guy's here and he's here, right? Instead of me having to turn around and strike, as I'm talking to him, boom, I'll take this guy out. I'll strike here, 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 okay? Let me answer a couple of questions, guys. Nick, can you do a video on how to defend yourself after a broken hip and hand? Okay. Hey. So that's it, guys. And when you're doing your forearm strike, make sure to work on always stepping in. So what I do sometimes when I work with the dummy, I step, even if the person grabs you, I can palm, boom, or strike right into the throat. Again, I'm pivoting with my whole body, and I'm just swinging it in there. I'm not keeping my elbow loose. I'm still keeping it a little bit tight, and again, I'm driving it in with the hips. This is Steven, brother, from Captain Irish. What's going on, my man? Should have figured broken hip and broken hand. Hope you're doing better, brother. Congratulations on your YouTube channel, man. We definitely have to do something together. We're gonna, you know what, Steven, we'll do a little video collab together, man. Best advice you can give a girl that's afraid of just freezing and not being able to defend herself. Well, just listen to what you're actually saying. Freezing and not being able to defend herself. So you need to change that. Number one, you can defend yourself. Two, the more training you do, the more live drills you do, the more scenarios you do, the less chances you have of freezing. If you do freeze for a split second, your body will kick in and go right into fight mode. So again, the more prepared you are, the better it is in terms of you setting in freezing or panicking. Is there a way to know what your opponent will do next? Jordan, great question. Absolutely. You will know what your opponent's going to do next based on his body language, behavior, movement. If I have my hands in my pocket and suddenly I do this, right? And my hands went from outside to inside, probably maybe I'm getting ready to throw a punch, or maybe I'm pulling out a weapon. If I'm talking to you and I'm close and suddenly I step back and take a few steps back, maybe I'm getting ready to go into kicking range. If I'm holding like a backpack, or if I'm holding something in my hand and suddenly I'm moving it a certain way, maybe I'm getting ready to use it against you. So there's a lot that you'll be able to know, because most people are unaware that they're doing it, and most people are unaware from a defender's point of view. If you train this, and I'm faced with my attacker and I see him going to reach something, going to move, angle off, look around, pace, pick up. I know that there's an attack coming. And those first few seconds are the most important seconds prior to fight. The most important are everything that happens prior to the first strike. And this is what I train for the most. So yes, you'll be able to know what your attacker does based on his movement prior to the strike. In many ways, and many times, the person will make his intention to action just through his body language or preparation, without even him being conscious that he's doing it. But from a defender's point of view, if you've trained, you'll be able to pick that up. Hey, good Nick, my man. Concern as far as defending myself is against straight jab. What is the best way to sign up 6 to 8 sessions? Give us more for interactive striking. Training for multiple sessions. My students are signing up for 6 that give us more time for interactive striking, kicking techniques. What is for straight punch or jab? So I always keep my hands up here, right? Especially if the fight is not on and I'm just talking to the person, my hands are here. The best way is to bring up your hands. If you can parry it or block it or jam it or move it. I get it happens too fast. So a lot of times I just train on doing this, boom, boom, coming here and just working my hands in every single way to make sure that my head moves off the center line and I'm blocking. If I have time to parry, I'll parry. I'm not actually aiming to hit the fist into the elbow, but I'm just looking at bringing up my hands and finding a way to deflect that straight punch and move it out of the way. I'm not looking for anything so technical or so movement, other than just bring up your hands as quickly as possible, moving your head off the center line and jamming it. How can you control a gun? Maybe a gun is good defense from a gun is good defense. Yeah, okay. And guys, when I hear that comment, a gun is a good defense, really you're gonna, the guy's gonna throw a punch and you're gonna shoot him. Guess what's gonna happen? You're probably gonna end up in prison. So, that good old answer, I'm just gonna carry a gun and shoot him. Again, it's, unless you sleep with your gun and you take a shower with it. And there's a lot of times, especially in close quarter range, you want to have time to get to your gun. Trust me, I've done many pressure testing drills in close quarter range against a knife, against a gun, and shit's not as easy as it seems, even if you have a gun. How can you defend yourself? How can you defend yourself if someone tried to open my door? So I'm trying to open the door. Somebody's trying to open the door. You could use the jerking motion to You know, if they're trying to open the door, or if you really want to keep it closed, lower your center of gravity, use your legs and just slam right into it and fucking try to lock it. I wouldn't advise a gun if you're someone just trying to punch you. Absolutely, man. In the car. Obviously, the first thing is try to keep your door locked. If the person's trying to open the door and you're already out, you won't have enough force to close the door. You could maybe jerk the door at some point. If you're out, then you're just going to have to fight him from the outside. How to go to prison? One. Gun against a knife and shooting, that's manslaughter versus force and law, by the way. Absolutely. A gun against a knife or shooting him, that's manslaughter and overuse of force. You know, if you got a knife and I got a gun in close quarter range, you ask me, my knife is a lot more dangerous than your gun. So, I mean, if you get that shot in and you could, you know, take him out, then great. But against a gun and a knife, I mean, there's still a certain amount that to me are both lethal force. So that's it. Do I need to go to the gym to get stronger in order to defend myself? Ruda, absolutely. Absolutely. Why not? Go train. You know what I mean? Put as much as you can to your favor. And the higher linen feature, important feature about lumen. Is there a higher linen feature only? I've never really used it. I've seen the tactical flashlights. I've used some of them, but not enough to really be able to tell you anything on that. A gun against a punch is manslaughter, but a knife versus a gun is close quarter, guaranteed getting seriously injured or worse. Absolutely. Good. Absolutely. I mean, the idea that the guy's gonna, you know, try to punch you and you pull out a gun and shot him, chances are you will, you know, again, the amount of force that you use must parallel the amount of danger you're in. So that's something very important to remember. What is more dangerous, a gun or a knife? What's the range? If you're in close quarter range, definitely the knife. I'm right hand but left foot, and I have to, how about stance? I'm right hand but left foot. Okay, I'm right hand. Left foot. Okay. Okay. Look, man, when you're doing your southpaw, okay. Why am I like? You know what? When it comes to boxing, guys, I actually could box both sides, and it's something that I trained on to be able to go from here to here. And it's all about angles. The reason why I've trained both ways is because I want to be able to fight, to be able to cover all the angles, especially when we're looking at self-defense and knife defense. It's being able to move from left to right. You might have a multiple attacker moving this way or that way. You might have the knife coming here or here. It's very important in terms of self-defense. I really work on my footwork to be able to move from every side and every direction. All right, guys, so I'm out. Guys, go visit my website, nickdrossos.com. I have my brand new membership. It's only $10 a month. All my new content is there, as well as sign up. I have my instructor course, April 11 and 12 in Montreal. Do you have boxing? Did you have official? Official, no, but there's a few videos of me sparring and stuff. When people say don't defend, reaction slower than action against what? How do I identify the real for the users? Obviously, action is faster than reaction. There's no doubt about it. When you're looking at the street, the idea is for you to go preemptive. I always teach people either I diffuse or de-escalate, or I go preemptive. Never challenge, never threaten. You know what I mean? When you're ready to go from being passive, where you're trying to diffuse or de-escalate, to explosive and going right into your strikes. All right, guys, so what's your most violent encounter? All right, guys, I gotta go. I want to thank all of you guys for watching. Go visit my website, nickdrossos.com, guys. Stay safe.